Hello, this is Brett Bensley, and I've been asked to get back to computer videos. Specifically asked to do a video about a programming language. Originally, I was asked about Python and a couple others, but those are readily available. I still may end up doing them, but I thought instead I'd go back to some old languages that are still around and still available. Again, like old computers and computers in general, that each has its own unique specialty or that's really good at or that's better with this, or like applications, one application's better than another one. So I was going to cover the language Forth, or at least introduce you to it. And I grabbed Swift Forth. There's other Forth versions out there, but this is basically an easy one for me to install in the system I'm using, and show you some of the interaction of the language. It's really a compiling language, but you can do it in uh, interactive mode, or what I call I forget the name. But anyhow, I'm going to be using SwiftForth here. That I'm not saying that's one you need to use, but I'm going to show it to you using that. And again, the language is Forth, and I'm kind of using most of the material right out of the book called Starting Forth, written in 1981, I believe. So here we go. I'm into Forth, and I'm going to do it in. I have basically what's called a terminal, and enter key. I may say return key because that's what the book says, but the enter key. So here we go. Enter key gets you an OK. That means it read the response and responded back to you. And you press the enter. Uh, Forth uses a stack and then commands, and you can do a variety of stuff with this. But again, we'll just work through this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the number 15 on the stack and tell it what I want to do with that. And I want to say spaces. And typically, Forth is supposed to be a case sensitive language. I don't know if the new versions are or not. This acting like it's really not, but it can be. So be careful about that. We'll know more later. But so I'll say 15 spaces, and I'll press the enter key. And it put out 15 spaces and said OK. That's where it would be done. Now, just to show you, I'm going to say 10 spaces and 5 spaces. And you see each one's gotten smaller by the amount of 5. If I said 1 spaces, did 1 space. Commands are separated by spaces as well. Now, there's a word called emit, which basically means print. And I'm going to use 42, which is basically is the asterisk. And there, print the asterisk over 1 space. Just show you 42 emit. Oh, excuse me, 41 emit. Gives you that. 43 emit. Gives you a plus sign. So those are mostly your math characters in there, but still, the number tells it the character. We'll go into more detail later. And you can then combine these things together, like the book says. 15 spaces, space, 42 emit. I gotta spell it right. Then I'm going to do 43 emit, just so you can see it. Press enter. There you go. Did 15 spaces and printed an asterisk and then a plus sign. Now, we can actually now start creating definitions, which is called a word. And we call that word a star. Now, to create the word, you start off with a semicolon, with a colon, sorry, which is the 2 dots, one above each other, and the semicolon, which is the dot above the comma. So here we go. We're going to create one called star, like the book. So we're going to start our definition. And so that's our definition, but then we have to finish it out with the semicolon. As you see there, the colon, called it star. Then we did the items, 42 emit and semicolon, which finished it out. Press enter, it said okay, which means it got it. First time I went through, I left the semicolon out because it's been a long time since I've written in this. I wrote this way back when it was on 8-bit computers, and I'm kind of relearning. So, yeah, we go. So now we have this in there, and we have a thing called star, which I can type in star. We'll see if it's case sensitive or not. And it's not. As you see, it found star, and it did exactly what it said. It did a 42 emit. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we have a thing called a carriage return, uh, CR, and it's system defined word. Like emit is a system defined word. We define star ourselves, uh, but I can show you what carriage return does. Now, I want to show you just here, enter does okay. We can do CR and return. Looks like it does nothing. Let's try the uppercase version. Yeah, it does. Same thing, just carriage return. And it prints the OK on the next line, as you see. Before, if we did something, it kept in the same line, like uh, two spaces, kept the OK on the same line. But we could do two spaces, CR, and it did the two spaces and then the carriage return. You can't see that because, of course, spaces. Anyhow, what we can do is we can then go um, carriage return creates a new line. So we can go CR star, which has been defined, CR star, CR star. So it's going to do a carriage return plus our defined 42 emit called star. And there you go. Now we're going to put actually like the starting fourth book says. And by the way, you can download this if you want to. We're going to define CR as a definition called margin. In other words, we basically rename it. I don't see why we want to, but it's going to do 30 carriage return and 30 spaces all combined together. So we're going to define it. We can do uppercase if we want. Margin. Hopefully I spelled that right. Then we're going to do a CR, 30 spaces. And then we're going to put the semicolon at the end. So margin is now defined as a CR and 30 spaces. All right, and it's defined it. It said, okay, it's defined now. Now we're going to type in margin star, margin star, margin star. Any guesses what this is going to do? I think what it's going to do is do carriage return 30 spaces and then a star, and again and again. And that's exactly what it did. So now we've actually defined margin, as you see here. And we defined star. You see what margin does. It does the carriage return 30 spaces, and a star does our emit 42 or 42 emit and does that. So what we can now do, we can define blip with those two previous definitions. Blip, and that exists of margin and star. And again, apparently it's not being concerned about upper and lower case, but technically should. But anyhow, there you go. Margin and star. So we're defining that. So we've defined margin, we've defined star, we've defined margin, we've defined star. Here's margin and star. Now we just define blip as margin star. All right. And as a matter of fact, what the heck? Let's just do blip. And there it did it. Did your 30 carriage return 30 spaces in your star, just like it did up above. Okay, now it says we will also need to print a horizontal rows of stars. So let's enter the following definition, which will explain how it works later in a later chapter. We're going to now define stars. And this actually does a do loop. So we will now go stars 0. That's the 0 and not the O. Do star and loop. Now, this star is actually the same star we defined earlier. The stars is saying do a loop of star. Okay. And start at 0, which again you can explain later. And again, like anytime we define anything, space, semicolon. So we define that one. Now if we say 5 stars, as the book says, then the 5. Let's say we want to do 20 stars. There. Or as the book says, 35 stars. And again, since we define stars is it starts from 0 to whatever number, put the number on the stack, and then you execute stars, it grabs that number and does it that many times. For example, 1 stars, that makes sense English-wise, but it did it. 40 stars. There they are. All right. Now we're going to do something that uses the margin, which we've defined earlier, and the stars, and we're going to call it a bar. All right. So we're going to do the definition bar, and it's going to be margin. And then we've defined 5 stars, or defined stars, and it'll use the 5. And that's it. Again, we don't know exactly what it's going to do, but if you think about it and go through your head, you can figure it out. So we've defined bar as margin and then 5 stars. All right. Again, I'm following here in the book. So we now have our bar, which we defined. We have our blip we defined. We have our bar and a blip and a blip. All these things are things that we define, and you can see how we define them above. Again, blip is a margin star. So there we go. And I forgot to add carriage returns to the end of it. That's all right. And as you see, we did 5 stars, which is a bar. So we did 5 stars with a margin, which is the space we put in there, which is 30 spaces. So that's 30 spaces, 5 stars. Let me do it this way: 30 spaces, 5 stars. And then we did blip, which is a margin and a star. So it's a margin and a star. And then we did bar, then we did blip, and we did another blip. All right. I'm going to do one more here before we get into any more detail. Right. But we're going to come down here where we're at in the command line. We're going to define one called F. And by the way, you see that makes F, makes an F right there. We're going to stick a carriage return at the end of it because I actually left that one out. Now we're going to define our F, in capital F, as our bar, as our blip, as our bar, as our blip, and carriage return. We want in that line, in that definition. So there we are. We've got it. We're just going to come up here a bit. And then we're going to go F. And that's what it did. Isn't that a fun thing to do? And like I said, this is in the fundamental fourth, beginning starting fourth. And that's basically what you're doing is you're creating commands to do something. And we create F and bars and margins and stars and blips and carriage returns. All right. Okay. And I'll get back to you on the rest of it later. So there's an introduction. Go ahead and work through all those. You can see them up here. There's the start of fourth.